Yo, what's going on, you guys? So today I'm going to be doing a short rant, and if you're new to the channel, I do a lot of content for a lot of different games, but I would have to say the main game on my channel where most of my subscribers come from is Dota 2. I think there are two major problems in Dota 2. Now, one of them is going to be a lot larger than the other, but I'm still going to be talking about both in this video. And since I want people to like the video, I'm going to start with the one that I think most people may agree on with me, and I think the agility stat in Dota 2 is messed up. Now, why is it messed up? So agility gives you attack speed and armor, but if you're an agility character, building agility also increases your attack damage. Now, that doesn't sound like it's that crazy or anything, but a lot of agility characters are auto attackers, or they do damage with their like normal basic attack. Now, while you're playing the game Dota 2, you're gonna notice that these high damage dealers with attack speed and everything built into their kit, for some reason they take the least damage out of anyone in the entire game for early to mid game, and it makes no sense at all. Why are the highest damage dealers in the game the most tanky until late game? It doesn't make any sense. Sometimes even late game they're more tanky than anyone else in the whole game if the tank doesn't build right on their team or whatever. It doesn't make any sense to me. It makes the game a lot less fun when there's a Juggernaut who in lane I auto attack him and it does like 20 damage at most. Like, I'm a support and I have a ranged auto attack, it does 20 damage to him, and he basically regens that right away. Especially when he has his healing ward, he can just have that out and I do actually 0 damage to him unless I kill the healing ward. Which, I mean, that's part of his kit and everything, but you can see how not fun this sounds if you're in my position. So what I think Valve should do is have armor be a standalone stat, you know, kind of like magic resist. So magic resist used to be part of the strength attribute, and then they removed it, which is fine or whatever. They finally realized, you know, that's a little bit broken. And now you're probably thinking, okay, what are they going to put instead of armor for agility? So I was thinking they could do armor reduction. They used to have movement speed, but movement speed, that can get a little bit broken, and I mean, they could go back to that, but I think a slight armor reduction would be the most fair. Now, obviously, you know, this wouldn't be a very large number. You would probably still have to buy armor reduction items, but it would not only make these characters feel like how they're supposed to feel and not feel like these tanks who just don't die and can one-shot the team by just running in, but I think it balances out and makes it most fair. Or if Valve wants to keep armor on agility and make the game stupid, why don't you just make it even more stupid? Bring back spell amplification for intelligence, bring back magic resist for strength, make everyone have a even playing field. And I know what you're thinking, like, that sounds really stupid for intelligence, but there are items in the game that pretty much nullify all magic damage. I mean, BKB is, I think, the dumbest item in the whole game, and they really need to remove it. It will make you immune, 100% immune to all magic damage for X amount of seconds. And I think the minimum time that lasts is 6 seconds. So every time you use it, it'll go down by 1 second. I mean, if that was in League, it would be so stupid to have that in Zhonya's, and I don't even know. BKB is actually just the dumbest item. They need to make that time a lot less. So it's actually like you have to have skill to use this item. Why should you be immune to magic for like 10 seconds when you get this item? It doesn't make any sense. That means you can just be Juggernaut, run in, press just right click. And then when you're close to their team, you just press R. And guess what? Their whole team is dead. No skill required, and you win the game. Congrats, you played Dota 2. I just think it's really dumb, and I'd like to know what you guys think in the comments below. Should they change agility? I really think they should. It makes the game a lot less fun when, you know, Anti-Mage is the tankiest character in the whole game, or Juggernaut's the most tanky character in the whole game, or Faceless Void, or all these people who do insane amounts of damage who don't need to be tanky, because you should actually need skill to play these characters instead of just, you know, you could be half asleep and play these characters. I don't know. Now, the second thing I want to talk about in Dota 2 is turn rate. They really need to just remove this. It makes the game clunky and a lot less fun and a lot less slower than it needs to be. I think the only reason it's in the game is because Valve bought all the rights to Dota 1. It was in Warcraft 3, blah, 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 and they didn't want to, you know, change anything. They didn't want to make anything different or whatever, and they wanted to keep this player base that they bought happy, so they didn't bother changing any of those types of mechanics or anything like that, and they kept it in the game. Just makes the game a bit slower, makes it feel like you're lagging, especially if you play some other MOBA like League, or, I mean, back when Dota came out, I'm sure more people played like Heroes of the Storm and stuff like that, but if you went from like those games to Dota 2, it would just feel like you're playing with like 250 ping, and you'd be wondering why it's taking so long for your character to like turn around or like move around or cast spells sometimes. Because that's another thing. A lot of the spells in Dota 2 have like some sort of animation. Now, obviously some are channeled, and it's usually obvious because it'll mention it, and after you use it, you'll be like, oh, it's a channel, not like an instant cast. But even if you have quick cast on everything, a lot of these spells you think they're gonna come out like right away, they take like half a second or a third of a second. Like Pudge's hook is way slower than Blitzcrank's hook, and a lot of times like I miss hooks because I'm not ready for that like slight delay even though I have quick cast on. I don't know, it's just a lot of just clunkiness that this turn rate adds to the game, and the game already has a bunch of clunkiness because of all the animations, and I don't mind all the animations and whatnot, but the turn rate needs to go. That's what I think, you guys. Let me know what you think about that as well. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this little rant. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace.